Right, let's do this. My phone is on silent and we're off. Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Anna and the Yarn. My name is Anna and this is my YouTube channel about yarn, so knitting, crocheting and all the bits in between. Thank you for being here. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here and being interested in what I'm making, what I'm doing, and if you're new here, welcome. I guess first of all we should start off with what I'm wearing. I was really worried it was going to completely blow out the camera, but it hasn't. This is my Jenny jacket, which I made as part of a knit along with my friends who I went to East Anglia Yarn Festival with. I've got my notes here. It's made from Drops Fabel and Drops Kidsilk, one strand of each held together. And the Jenny jacket is basically, it's a 2x2 rib, but it's smocked. Can you see? There you go. And it's a beautiful design. It's a long knit. Like, it took me a really long time to make it, but I'm so happy with the final result. I have a slight issue that my dye lots, you can't see it on camera really, but my dye lots of mohair, just about see it, were different because I made an error in judgment. I forgot that mohair came in 25g balls and not 50, so I didn't order enough. But anyway, that is my Jenny jacket, which might stay on for the duration, but it's quite warm today. For April, it is really quite warm. So today's the 2nd of April, it's a Wednesday, and the sky outside is absolutely stunningly blue. It's beautiful. But we've got good light at the moment because the sun is currently over there, but my main window is here. So, all good. I'm jabbering on. Anyway, so today I'm going to talk to you. I've just seen my postman. Let's hope we don't get disturbed. We'll see. Today I'm going to talk to you about March and what I did in March. So I have got quite a few finished objects. There's the postman. I've got a couple of works in progress. I'm going to talk to you about my plans, and then I'm going to talk to you as well about East Anglia Yarn Festival and the acquisitions there, and filmed a little bit of footage as well, not as extensively as I filmed at Farnham. Sorry, there's lots going on outside my house today, because I was there much more for social reasons, and only filmed a few snippets here and there when I thought it was appropriate. Right, so let's get on with it then. So, finished objects. My first finished object of March was this little cute Sibling cardigan. Now this is a pattern that's not available, but there is so much going on outside. This is a pattern that is currently not available. I preview knitted it for Laura Penrose, who there is a jumper version of this design available, but I'm not 100% sure if she has plans to release the cardigan, but she has kind of a base, not even baseline, it's a great pattern that's written, but it's not been to test or anything like that yet. It's got your Sibling construction on the shoulders, so I just need to wash and block this and add the buttons, which are going to be, oh, there we go, those cute little ones that I bought from HobbyCraft a few weekends ago. So I just need to get this finished completely and sent off to my friend. The yarn is also HobbyCraft actually. It's their WI acrylic DK. It's on a constant 3 for 2, and I bought a lot of it to make a blanket, which I spoke about in the last episode, and then it kind of ended up that I had a lot of yarn left over, and I made quite a few Sibling cardigans and sweaters, and this is the last one of the madness, and that yarn is now packed away, ready to give to somebody. The leftovers are going to be gifted to somebody who makes sweaters that she sends out to children who I think live in Kenya, and then the little tiny scraps she uses to make the innocent fruit smoothie hats that they put on their bottles at Christmas. So yes, Sibling cardigan. I think she needs to release this pattern because it's really cool. But yeah, Sibling cardigan by Laura Penrose. then, oh, I'm very close to the camera. The next thing I finished is another Laura Penrose design. This one is currently in testing, but it's due out very, very soon. This is the Jacques scarf, which I made in Toft DK in cream and kale, which the kale, when I bought it, it was in 100 gram hand-dyed skeins. It's now available in 25 gram balls, which is kind of their standard. But this is the Jacques scarf, and unfortunately my gauges are a little bit off, so it's a little bit small, but it still does its job. There we go. It's very funky. Like, I love this. So it is made, basically, it's a garter stitch scarf. You have double knitting on this side. Is it going to focus? There we go. Double knitting at the top edge and I-cord at the bottom edge, and it's done in intarsia, so it's very, very clever. It's a very good introduction to lots of techniques, and yeah, I will be making another one. I will probably up my needle size to 4.5, though I'm now thinking that I maybe did my swatch, which I can't find, on 4mm needles, and then accidentally picked up my 3.75s when I made this, because my length is considerably shorter than the actual pattern, so I need to check that. So I need to probably do another swatch, but I've got a plan to make the bigger size. But yes, lovely pattern. It's still currently in testing. I think she plans to release it like the week before Easter maybe, so I don't know, keep a look at on her socials, and she will do extensive information on when the release is. But I really like this design. It's really clever, and yeah, it's just really tactile and stripy. I love it. I'm just going to chuck everything on the floor again like usual. Right, the next thing I finished was, I didn't actually anticipate finishing this for quite a while, but then I got into a bit of a flow and I was like, you know what, let's go for it. And I'm so proud of it. Like, a lot of people have probably finished this before me. I don't care. Like, I'm happy with it. Look at this. Oh. Hello. This is the GoGo Dynamo MCAL by Stephen West. So every year, I imagine a lot of you know this, but every year Stephen West does a shawl knit along MCAL in October. It's a secret, well, not secret, it's a surprise MCAL. So every week you get a clue and you knit the clue, and then at the end of the 4 weeks you have your beautiful shawl. I didn't start this till the 2nd or 3rd week, but my plan was to take it very slowly and just make it as and when and enjoy it. So the first clue was this bit here, the kind of semicircles, and then you did, just bring it a bit closer, then you did the holes, the brioche, they're not holes are they, the dots, I don't know what to call them, in the brioche. But this you could kind of choose whether you wanted to do brioche or, I want to say eyelets maybe. The 3rd clue was these short row triangles. Clue 4 was then filling in this bit with these tiny bobbles and slip stitches, and then there was like an optional bit to clue 4, which are these stripes, which I wasn't sure about doing, but I had the yarn left and it balances out that bit. That fell really well, didn't it? Balances out that bit. But I'm so proud of it, and I'm so glad I took my time. Should we just like swoosh it on for a minute? Look at that. I'm so proud of this make. The yarn is the off-white is Filcolana Arwetta, and then the hand dye is by Castleview yarns. What was it called? Signed, Sealed, Delivered, and it's their sock base, I think. So it's 75/25 wool acrylic, and that'd be Castleview yarns. Lovely dyer who I'll show you more of later actually. Right, let's take that one off. Sort myself out a little bit. No, that's not worked. There we go. Socks. So I've embarked on a Sorry, I'm just looking at if it's... Yes, we are actually recording. I was just checking. I was like, where's the timer? I can see it's fine. I've embarked on a yearly challenge of making a pair of socks a month over the course of 2025. Don't know why, I just decided that I would do that because I've got a lot of bits of sock yarn. I've got a sock box of doom, which one day I'll show you. It's in my wool wagon, which again, I'll show you my wool wagon one day. And this month's socks actually didn't come from the sock box of doom. This yarn was a Christmas present from my husband. This is James Makes Yarn. It's his sock yarn base, but it's his Lucky Dip sock yarn base. So every so often, I don't know if it's a regular thing, James dyes yarn on a more affordable sock base. He kind of uses it as an experiment to come up with future colourways, but instead of just kind of, you know, not doing anything with that yarn, the experimental colourways he does, he then sells in the Lucky Dip bags. And you get 2 skeins for, I want to say about 30 quid, but I could be wrong. And this was one of the ones I got, and isn't it absolutely beautiful? This sock's a bit more speckledy than sock number 2, but that is fine. I do not mind that at all. And I paired it with this lovely bright pinky fuchsia, which you can't really tell the difference between the red and the pink on camera. Well, I can't see it at the minute. From Malabrigo, which I've had in stash for absolutely ages. I can't even remember what I bought it for. I'll have to find out for you. But again, it's my standard sock of 63 cast on, knit for about 15 rows in knit 2 purl 1, make 1 to make it 64, knit. I actually knit for 63 rows to match the cast on, heel flap and gusset, there's my gusset decrease, and then kitchen a stitch toe. So yes, that is my March socks. I'll show you my April ones, or my April plan, in a little bit. Then I have one more thing. Yes, so at Christmas I made quite a lot of gifts, or in the run up to Christmas I made quite a lot of gifts, and I ended up with some spare yarn because I made both my granny and Sam's granny a small version of the Sophie shawl, but in acrylic by Sirdar. It's one of their Aran Jewl Spun yarns, but it's got quite a big yardage for an Aran weight yarn. It's for 200 grams you get 500 meters, so it's kind of that, is it Aran weight, but it knits up at Aran weight. But I had a whole ball of it left, and I was like, well, what should I do? So I've got a friend who, actually it was her birthday last week, I've not sent her a present yet, but I've made her a present. So when I first started crocheting, I came across a pattern called the Desert Wind Scarf, which is this one. It's by, upside down, it's by the Make and Do crew. It's a free pattern online, but you can also purchase it as like an ad-free pattern. I follow the chart on it rather than the written instructions because it's written in US crochet terminology, and obviously I use British crochet terminology, but because it's a free pattern I can talk about it. So it's basically just UK trebles with increases and decreases. So you have one straight line across the top, and then an increase and decrease along the bottom. And it was originally written for the Caron cakes, you know, the big kind of round balls that they all change colour. But I thought it'd work quite well with this, and I was like, oh, well, it's 200 grams of yarn, because Caron cakes are 200 grams of yarn. Finished it, and I still had 90 grams of yarn left. I couldn't believe how far this went. So I was like, well, what else can I do? So I went on a little search, and I was like, oh, you know what? I know what I can make. I don't know what that face was. We have some mittens. These are the world's simplest mittens by TinCanKnits. I have made a sisters not twins pair, but aren't they? They're great. This is a really great pattern. Again, it's a free pattern. You get instructions for 4-ply, DK, Aran worsted, and chunky weight. And it's from like kids, maybe even baby size, like large adult hands. And I've made it quite a few times. But there we have a pair of mittens. I think the colourway I used of this Jewl Spun was called Quartz. Don't quote me on it. It is 100% acrylic, and my friend is vegan. I mean, obviously I could use cotton yarn, I could use a plant-based fibre, but I'm trying to use up stash this year, saying that I have got some acquisitions to show you. But yeah, my aim is to use up stash this year, and that again has used up most of this yarn. There is a bit left, and I thought, oh, maybe I could make her son some matching mittens as well. But I've just stuck it in the bag to go to the lady who makes the sweaters and innocent fruit smoothie hats. So yeah, that's kind of my finished objects for March, I think. Yeah, referring to my notes, I think it is. Whip time then. So, which one to start with? I'll start with this one. I love these bags. I can't stop talking about Willow Bay bags, and actually I've got a new one to show you. In this bag I have got the, where are we there? The Dustland Skinny Scarf by WestKnits. So another Stephen West design. And I am exactly halfway through. It's basically what I would call a sampler shawl. You have lots of different stitches, they're all kind of knit and purl stitches. It's either like knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one, alternate, or knit two, purl two, with all separated with garter stitch, just to kind of, you know, make a pretty little shawl. The yarn I have used is Ginger Twist yarns, which I picked up when we went to Edinburgh in October, and it's in their Masham Mayhem 4-ply yarn, which they hand dye themselves, and this colourway is called Muddy Sunshine. I'm very much into greens at the minute. This is a very yellowy green, but I'm really into the greens at the moment. And I'm making this with my in-person knitting group, so I'll explain that in a minute. But I go to a knitting group on a Thursday, and we are making, we're doing a mini shawl along. So I'm making this one, as is my mum, and then my friend Jill is making the kind of glow hair, mohair. I don't know what it's called, but she's making the fluffy one that's got like the leafy bits. I know what I mean. But this is the one I'm making. My mum is making the same, but hers is purely white, so it looks much more like what you would call an aran blanket. It's very, very cool. But I'm loving this green at the minute. Maybe it's not the greatest colour against my hair, but yes, that is that one. I'm only knitting on it at my Thursday knitting group. So my Thursday knitting group isn't my in-person knitting group that I go to during school term time. And then I have another knitting group, which is kind of my online knitting group friends, who I will talk about a bit more later. I keep saying a lot, I'm really sorry. The next thing I have been working on, I don't think I've kind of shown it on Instagram, but only as a tiny portion of a picture, like what I've been working on in March. So that picture is already on Instagram. But this is what I have been working on. I didn't anticipate on starting this, actually, until a couple of months' time. But I got inspired after I had a bit of a, sorry, I keep touching my hair, a bit of a stash sort out. And I've been planning this version of the Stella Quilt Blanket for a while. But I thought I'd show it to you now. So, I'm making the Stella Quilt Blanket, but in 2x2 squares rather than 4x4, because it's more what's the word I'm looking for? Transportable. I don't know what the word I mean. I'll get there eventually. Compact, just easier to take around and knit on. So I'm making ones like this where you've got the browns in the middle. So I've got two of those like that. And then I'm also going to be interspersing them with ones where you've got the cream in the middle. The main colour is, again, what am I using? Drops Fabel. It's what I use for my sister's blanket. And then the contrast colours are basically neutral browny greys. I'm not putting grey in it, but grey browns in it that I've got hanging around at home. I'm using, so if you know the pattern, I can't give you too much detail, it's a paid for pattern, but I'm using the base square A, B and C. D is not in this, you don't have to use D at all. You can if you want to, but the way I've kind of mocked out how I'm doing it, I'm using base square A, B, C. And making them in the 2x2s, which I will then crochet all of them together. And I think probably do the border, which I haven't done on my other Stella, something stuck in there, my other Stella Quilt Blanket. I keep wanting to say Stella Quilt Cardigan. Laura, there's an idea for you. My Stella Quilt Blanket, that one didn't have any edges, that was the one that I gave to my mother-in-law. But here is square number 4, and this is going to be one with the off-white square in the middle. The plan is to probably gift this to its recipient for Christmas. I'm not going to make it anywhere near as big as the blankets I've made. I think I'm probably going to do, of these, I'll show you that one, of these squares, probably going to go for 3x4, maybe 4x5, depending on my measurements. I'll lay them out and maybe insert some B-roll here or later on, but I will show you the vision of how it's going to look. Most of the yarn I've used is Drops Lima or Toft DK, but yeah, just using up Stash. So the browns are from Stash. I'd bought this in anticipation to make it, but my rule is kind of buy the main colour and then the contrast colours are all from Stash, because, you know, as I've said, all about using the Stash up this year. That is the plan. But yes, yarn has come into the house this month. I've done really well. Obviously I'd had planned buys for Unravel, and then I was like, no more yarn, and I was like, oh wait, I'm going to East Anglia Yarn Festival. So I did buy some yarn. Then the kind of, oh no, I've got 2 more whips. So, which one should I do first? I'll do this one first. So, my mum has asked me to make her some crocheted hairs for a friend of hers grandchildren, and so during that trip to HobbyCraft I picked up some of this yarn. It's an acrylic and it's called Pickle Jobs, which is hilarious. It's a 50-gram DK, so you get 120 meters for 50 grams, and I'm going to be, well, I've started making this one here. This is Lucy the Hare from the Edwards Menagerie New Collection book. It's the first pattern in the book. Actually, it's the one used on this page as well. So they show you all the different sizes that you can make them in. I'm making the standard DK one. However, Toft standard DK uses a 3mm hook, and for this yarn I've had to go down, let's put that there, because it's quite a slidey acrylic. So I'm making them in tandem, so I've got two bodies now, but I'm going to end up with a lot of yarn left over because I had to go down to a 2.5mm hook, so I didn't want any of the stuffing showing. But these are the bodies. I'm making them slightly different from each other, as in the pattern repeat is in a different place, so that the girls who they're going to obviously can tell whose is whose. But bearing in mind I've made 2 bodies and I've started on the head. I've got that much left from one wall, and I still have all of this, and I have a feeling I'm going to get both of them out of 2 balls. So I have 3 remaining. It's a very, very soft acrylic. It's quite slidey. It's not the kind of thing I would usually work with, but it could probably make quite a nice baby garment, but I don't know yardage wise if I could get a baby garment just to have 3. So I don't know what to do with the rest. If you have any ideas of what I could do with the rest, let me know, because I was trying to kind of oust the acrylic from my stash, but because they're going to somebody who I don't know how much they know about wool and caring for wool, I was like, well, I'll make it from acrylic, so if it needs to go in the washing machine, it can go in the washing machine. Obviously I could have used cotton, but I don't like crocheting with cotton. I don't like how it squeaks on the crochet hook. It's just, It's just not something I really like. So yes, that's Lucy the Hare, or Hares, by Toft from the Edwards Menagerie New Collection book. The final whip that I'm getting out. I can't quite believe I've got this out of stash, to be honest. Stash? Out of storage, let's say, to be honest. I was incredibly inspired by my friend Angela of Ishy Wishy Stitches. She has a podcast on YouTube. Go follow her. She got out her Twist and Turns MCAL from 2022 and finished it. So, it's quite a poignant make, this really, because I now have a group of friends who are some of my best friends because of not finishing this. So my friend Angela, she put out a call in 2022 to be like, does anybody want to make like a chat group for the MCAL, the Stephen West MCAL? At that point I didn't really know Angela, I just vaguely followed her, you know, liked what she did. And so a group was put together of me, Angela, Sally and Tia to kind of help each other, spur each other on to make this. And obviously, as you can see, I wasn't spurred on that much. I made clue 1 and then I stopped. But Angela finished hers for Mother's Day and has gifted it to her mum, and it's so beautiful. I was like, you know what? Why am I not finishing this? And I wondered if it was I don't know if I got overwhelmed by it, whether there was too much else going on. I don't know. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finish it, because I mean, people have said to me, why not pull it back and reuse the yarn? I can't bring myself to pull this back. Like, there is no way. I mean, those of you who made it, can you remember like the amount of stitches you had to cast on during making all these loopy bits? I mean, there's no way. There is no way. So I'm going to finish it. So my two main colours are these two. I did it in Drops Nord, and then my contrast, or is it called, I think it's called an accent colour, is this orange. So that's my colour palette. And we're going to go for it. We are actually going to finish this bad boy. Like, I really like the colours. Like, these two colours are two of my kind of, I'm a grey and teal person. Like, that's my colour palette. I don't know what made me choose orange. And I wonder if it was the orange choice that was kind of putting me off carrying on. But actually, now I've seen finished versions, I've kind of gone through Ravelry and Instagram and had a look at other people's. And actually, the amount of orange that would be in it and where the orange would fall, I think is going to be absolutely fine, because actually there's not big swathes of orange, which I think was my problem. I'm not a big orange knitter. I like rusts, and this is on the cusp of like rust. I think they do call it rust, but it's closer to orange than rust in my mind. That was my little swatch that I knitted right at the beginning, and you can see actually the orange does work quite well. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to pick up the stitches. I think the next pick up bit is along here, and it's happening. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But it's been languishing now for 2.5 years. Yeah, 2.5 years. So it's happening. You've heard it here. It is happening, and we are nearly at half an hour of talking already. Oh my goodness. But that is my works in progress plans. But then there are further knitting plans, so we will get into the actual plans now. So, obviously, plan number 1. My second plan of the month is the Stanford Sweater masculine sizing by the Knit Pearl Girl. The lovely Sophie released the Stanford feminine sizes. Was it end of last year? I can't remember exactly when it was. But when she put the test call out, I was like, oh my goodness, like, my husband would love that in like masculine grading. Is that going to happen? And she was like, oh yeah, it's going to happen. And so when she put the test call out, I was like, Sophie, can I do the test please? And so I've ordered the yarn. I ordered it yesterday actually. My husband has chosen the colour and he's gone for teal. I'm so happy. and I've ordered Drops Charisma, which is 50 grams to 100 meters of yarn, which is what I originally did my swatching, but it was Filcolana Peruvian Highland wool, but it has the same meterage. So I thought, well, actually, if I go for that, it actually makes the test knitting, makes the garment cheaper for me. I've used Drops Charisma before, and it is a superwash yarn, but it's a very sturdy superwash yarn. Like, I've used it for 2 kids' garments because I wanted the recipients to be able to wash them. But it's quite, it does feel a bit rustic, so he would wear something underneath it anyway, but it's probably, for me, it's probably not a to skin yarn. Like this is no problem, but it's a bit of a, I'd say it's more toothy yarn, even though it's a superwash, it's not that smooth. But that is on its way. I've ordered that from Wool Warehouse, and I'm hoping to cast that on really soon. I want to get the main kind of construction of this bit on his body done, so that then I can just enjoy some garter, stockinette stitch, round and round and round and round at some point, because I've got no projects that are just kind of round and round apart from socks. And though it's tiny knitting and it's great, it's very portable. That was the word I was trying to say. Portable. Oh dear. Socks are quite portable, but after a while I do get a bit of hand cramp with them, so I wanted something bigger, which is just easier to knit. The other thing I have planned to make, or start making this month, is the Toft Mary Anning doll. I have the kit, I don't know where it is, but I do have the pin badge as well. I couldn't resist the pin badge. How cute is this? Mary Anning was a childhood hero of mine. She was a paleontologist from the kind of 1800s. There's even a little bit of information on the back. How cute is that? Oh, you can't see. There we go. And I did geography and geology at university and basically specialised in paleontology in my second and third year. So, paleontology geek here. So making her to have on my shelf, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not big in on dolls, but she has a special place in my heart, so I'll be making that at some point. I don't know where I've put the kit. It's around, but anyway, yes, I'll be making that at some point in the not too distant future. That's another plan, maybe for this month, I don't know. And then the other thing I have planned is in Toft's quarterly. It's their spring quarterly, and it is, where is it? It's a hat. So their current quarterly is based on Stoke pottery, and the photographs are all taken where the pottery throwdown was filmed. But I want to make this hat. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? It's called the Bennett hat, or Bennett hat, and it's based on all kind of like blue china pottery work. It's absolutely beautiful, and I really want to make that. That is the front of the quarterly. Isn't the colour palette just fantastic? I like the back as well. All made here. And so that's a plan as well. I don't have the pom-pom yet, but I will probably order that Easter time. They do, over Easter, they do something really fun on Toft's website. They do like an Easter egg hunt where you can but you can find the Easter eggs, and then you'll get like a patch for finding one of them. Usually there's like a discount code that you can use on a future order. One of their publications is usually reduced in that. There's something else. Oh, they do a free pattern as well usually, but you have to go around the website and like find the things, but it's pretty easy to do. But it's a fun little thing, and I'll probably order a pom-pom for that hat when they do that. Sorry, I'm so distracted by whatever's going on outside at the moment. I've also had, this will lead into acquisitions. Their bird book came, it was published, actually I don't know if it's officially been published yet, but this is like the special edition that they did if you ordered directly from them, and you got a little flamingo patch as well. This is the new and updated version of the bird book, which I believe came out 10 years ago now. But they've done a fantastic job with updating the patterns, just making it more accessible for beginner crocheters. Even though I started crocheting with Toft, there were a few bits that just needed to be added to the book to make it more beginner friendly, and they've done that now. And it's really, it's a fantastic book. And if you're into making amigurumis, then I would suggest buying this book. I'm just trying to find you one. This is my favourite one. It's like, I love him. This is Vince. He's the blue-footed booby bird, and yeah, he's just fantastic. I made him when he was like, I think he was in the original book, and I've made him with much darker blue feet, but since Toft have got a lot more colours in their yarn spectrum, and have released, I think, 6 new colours this year in preparation for this book coming out. Like a lot in the kind of pinky peach palette, and then the green palette as well, and there's a beetroot colour as well. But yes, I'm going to make something from this book at some point. Don't know when, because I have a lot of plans to make things. And then the other plan I have is, again, you may have seen on Instagram, I have a sweater that I made that I'm just not happy with. It's a chunky knit sweater, but I ended up with a lot of fabric here. And at some point I'm going to do a video about dismantling that garment and making another version of it. My battery is, it's okay at the moment. And I was looking for a sweater to make with that yarn. Basically, I want the same thing, but better fitted. I should have found the page first, really. But it's in this book. And my lovely friend Mary made it. And I was like, that is it. That's what I want. Oh, I can't find it. Here it is. The Brooklyn Weekend sweater. It's basically what I've already got. But it's got short rows in the back, which I think is going to help with the bulk that I've got here. But yes, I'm going to make a full video of pulling that sweater back, dealing with the yarn and, you know, getting all the kinks out of it and that kind of thing, and then remaking it and see if we get what I want, because I love that piece that I have in theory, but there's so much bulk here, there's a lot of bulk under the arms, and I have more knowledge now with knitting as to what to do to make that piece exactly what I want. And I think the original one that I made was made bottom up, and this is top down, and the construction just looks more like what I want. So at some point when I've got a bit of a clearer time, I will I will get on with that. But it's in this, the Sandnes Garn Norwegian Factory DIY book 210. And thank you very much for finding this for me, Simona from knit.co.uk, because I had a bit of a desperate search for this pattern, and I could only find this either in Norwegian or in shops who won't send to the UK because Brexit, but we won't talk about that. Anyway, it's not their fault. It's not the shop's fault. It's our stupid government's fault. Anyway, I got a copy of it and I'm so excited to be able to start on this, but I need to clear a few more things from my schedule first. Right, I'm going to talk about East Anglia Yarn Festival and my acquisitions now. If you're not into acquisitions, then thank you for being here, but I'm going to kind of lump East Anglia Yarn Festival and my acquisitions together because it makes sense. And then what I'll do is the footage that I filmed at East Anglia Yarn Festival I'm going to put at the end for you to enjoy. Do you know what? I need to pull some stuff this way. Sorry about this. Oh dear. I'm sorry about the crinkling noises as well. Oh, I've missed one plan. I took to Instagram and asked people, what should I make for my April socks? I mean, I should have known better, really. I knew exactly which yarn people were going to pick. I gave a choice of 4, and you all chose to pick one. It's a beautiful yarn. It's by Biff Sugar Yarns. I cannot remember the name of it, but it's beautiful. Thank you, Laura Penrose, for buying me this for my birthday a couple of years ago. And then I also asked Instagram, what should I pair it with? And I, again, should have known better, really. You guys all decided on pink. Well, actually, it was like half and half between pink and blue. So what I've decided to do, I'm listening to you. I've cast on with the blue, but I'm going to do pink heels and blue toes. So that's my colour palette for my April socks. So yes, looking forward to them. I've already cast them on because, you know, I like to have a sock whip on the go. Right, back to East Anglia Yarn Festival. Oh, and my new bag, sorry. Another new bag. This is from Willow Bay Bags, and this is basically the bag that they make for socks. And this one's got a zipper. I've not even taken the label off it yet. And I just think it's a a good bag for socks because nothing is going to fall out of there. Right, East Anglia Yarn Festival. So, on the 15th of March, I went to East Anglia Yarn Festival with my lovely knitting friends. The reason we made this, it actually happened that only 2 of us finished this garment in the end, for whatever reason. So, my friend Sally, she went in her Dazzler sweater by Lisa Lewis, was the front cover garment of Liner magazine, the winter one, and my friend Tia, she wore her Sibling sweater, which she bought the yarn for at last year's Unravel. No, last year's East Anglia Yarn Festival. There's a little picture of all of us here. We had a lovely time, and yes, we did buy yarn because, you know, it's a yarn festival. So, where shall I start? I'll kind of do a roundup like I did for Unravel. So, East Anglia Yarn Festival is in the Norfolk Showground. Big building, ample parking, very accessible. So if you want a yarn festival where you have accessibility needs, I'd highly suggest it. Like, it's all on one level. Like, Unravel is up, down, here, there, everywhere. It's great. It's an Aladdin's cave. It's a treasure trove. But you have to use the lifts, and there's not much space in the lifts there. You're up and down stairs quite a lot, and there's not that much room. East Anglia Yarn Festival, because it's in a big showground, there's a lot of space between the vendors. It's all in rows, all in aisles, very accessible. But the one thing I would say, Unravel, when you get your programme, it tells you exactly where everybody is. East Anglia Yarn Festival, it just tells you which row they're in. So you do get a little map in your thing, your programme, and it does tell you which rows there are, but it doesn't tell you then where each individual person is in the row. And to some extent that is quite frustrating, because I got home and then I was like, oh, I missed them, I didn't see them, and it was it was a little bit annoying. But accessibility wise and space wise, it's fantastic. I mean, you can see here as well, this whole area is put down to seating, and it's not you must sit here if you've bought coffee and cake and blah blah blah, which is like that at Unravel. This is, you can just sit down and chat with your friends and have your picnic, pack lunch here, whatever, and that's brilliant. The one thing I would say, unless you're kind of into paninis or chip bowls, which the chip bowls are amazing, I would take your own food, because there's not that many vendors there. For the number of people that are at that event, the food vending could be better. At Unravel, there is a cafe and like a more restaurant-y bit in there, but because you're in the middle of Farnham, you can go out and get food from wherever. This, not so easy. So I would say, unless you're kind of into chips, paninis, tea, coffee, cake, take your own food with you. But other than that, it's a fantastic day out. I'm wondering about changing my battery. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'll try and get through this quickly. So I bought the goodie bag. I pre-ordered the goodie bag before I went to East Anglia Yarn Festival. And what you get in it is, I'll show you the bag as well, a DK yarn, which is by The Lonely Knitter, and this is Bellevue Luxe DK. Oh no, it's called Bellevue, sorry. It's the East Anglia exclusive, and there's 100% merino. And then you get these minis as well by the same dyer. This is the lady who kind of runs and like organises the whole festival. Get a little stitch marker, which is not going to focus on. There we go, little stitch marker. A sticker. There we go. And then you also, I can't really show you this too much, but you get a pattern, do that quickly, for the yarns. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do either. This is probably going to be socks because there's enough yarn for me to make a pair of socks here. This, I don't know. I've not decided yet, but it's lovely and soft, and it's all about the greens, and I love green at the moment. Sorry about that noise. And this is the bag you've got as well, and it's got a zipper, and everything came inside there. That's a really useful bag. I kind of wish it had a bigger strap as well, but it's quite a good sturdy bag. So what did I buy at East Anglia Yarn Festival? I had very specific shopping in mind. So should we do the ones crinkling first? I'm really sorry about the crinkly noises. The wrapping is really crinkly. I wanted to buy this set from Castleview Yarns. I've been looking at it for a while, and poor Jen, I've been messaging her saying, will you bring it, will you bring it? She bought it, and I'm so glad I went to her quite early on, because by the time I went back it was sold out. But my sitting room is a variety of these colours. Should I just turn it around? Sorry about the crinkling. And I want to make some kind of homeware thing for my sitting room in these colours. It's from her Seasons of Colour range, and these are the December mini skeins, and I'm going to put it down now so that it doesn't crinkle again. Really sorry. But they're by Castleview Yarns, and that was a planned purchase. My other planned purchase was, it's all greens, isn't it? This from Pigment and Ply. It's their Wild Muse 100% superwash double knitting. And the reason I wanted this was because last year I pre-ordered this colour but on her boucle base to make a lento, but I've realised I don't like boucle around my neck, so I wanted something to go around my neck on that sweater. And she had the colour. I danced when I found this. I was so happy to find this colourway, and my lento will be probably on my needles pretty soon. I don't know when. It depends on how distracted I get by yarn. I've been so good, like, not knitting with this lot so I could show it to you. I was like, no, keep it for the, I'm going to say it, podcast, to show you guys. Yeah, I made sure I kept that. Actually, I've got the boucle here. I'm not sorry again about the crinkling. It's still in this packet. But that's the boucle, and then that's that. I probably should get it out, but yeah, it's to make a lento sweater, which I think, I don't know which magazine that was from. I've just got the pattern. Have I? Well, I'm going to make the lento anyway. Yeah, I have bought the pattern. It was in a magazine, and lots of people went absolutely mad for it because it's a DK weight yarn pattern, I think, but it's knit at quite a loose gauge, I think on 6mm needles. Oh, I've got an itch. 6mm needles. So boucle will work really well for that. And I'm really into this green. Again, I'm not sure if it really goes with my hair, but you know, colour's colour, isn't it? If you like it, you like it. Wear it. Yes, so that one's by Pigment and Ply. I also had a plan to buy some boucle when I was there to make I think the Teddy Clutch by Petite Knit. Whoa, that blows the camera out. This is by Cool Woolings, and it's their Electric Meadow DK boucle. I love saying that. DK boucle. I got too excited. Whoa. It's so bright. And it's so squishy. I absolutely love it. I didn't intend on buying boucle from them, but I picked this yarn up 3 times, and then I was like, it's coming home with me. It's so beautiful. I need to buy the kit and all, like the workings for the bag. I think I'm going to get them from this company, Mammy and Flory. Them. I'm going to buy it from them. They've got some really nice kind of fixtures with like big, don't know why I'm doing this, like big, like chunky closures on the bag makings, and some nice like chains as well. But I really wanted to make a boucle bag because I've seen them going around, and I really fancy having a go with that, 'cause it's just something a bit different, isn't it? Then the final thing I bought from East Anglia Yarn Festival was from Bellica Yarns. I always buy a souvenir skein of yarn from the Yarn Festival for socks, and this time I went for one from Bellica's Bargain Bucket. Can we put my face? Hello, focusing on that. From Bellica Yarns. It's not got a a name as such. It's their 100%, no it's not, it's their 100 gram 4-ply merino nylon, but it doesn't have a yarn name, but I got it because it's green and speckly, and I'm as I said, really into the greens right now. It's all about the greens. But yeah, they were my purchases, and the crinkly one, but I'm not going to pick them up, from East Anglia Yarn Festival. And yeah, had an absolutely lovely time. I'm going to put some footage right at the end of what I did. It's not extensive footage. I basically tried to film what I didn't see at Unravel. There are some yarns I regretted not getting, some by Needle and Thread, which I really want to purchase at some point. There is footage of that yarn that I filmed. But yeah, that is March. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me ramble about yarn for nearly an hour. My battery is kind of starting to flash at me, so you know what? I think it's time to say goodbye. What have I got coming up? So I've told you my April plans. I'm going to be filming another video probably next week about my designs, things I've designed over the last few years, just to kind of show you those, because obviously if you don't follow me on Instagram you don't know about all of that. So I'm going to share that lot with you, and there will be a discount code for Easter, probably like the 2 weeks of the school Easter holidays, which are fast approaching. We've got some very fun things planned for the school Easter holidays as well, but I'll talk about that once we've done them, kind of once we've enjoyed our family time together. And yeah, we'll see where this month takes me really, because I have plans, but I do feel like there's going to be kind of sporadic cast-ons here and there, probably my lento, which I didn't talk about really, but I need to print off the patterns that I'm going to work from, and we'll go from there. So yeah, thank you for being here. Obviously it would be very helpful to my channel if you could like and subscribe and leave a comment. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye. I have a cup of tea and I've not even picked it up. It's probably cold by now. Let's have some tea. Take care. focus on, isn't it?